What's going on, everyone? I'm going to start off with the dollar. It was up today. We had a hammer yesterday, right off of support. So it looks like it's climbing back over resistance. Very close to getting over previous highs. So watch out when that happens, these previous highs. And ultimately that previous high. You can see why on the weekly. It would be a nice launching pad on the way up. Needs to close above previous highs. Somehow there's a huge, I don't even know where it stops. Someone had a fat finger, it looks like. And the data is all skewed now. So I'm not actually sure if that's the right candle because I can't see what kind of, where it got rejected from. It looks like it got rejected, but where did it get rejected? Did it go past the line and come back? I'm just not sure. Did it break through and come back in? I'm not sure yet. There's something wrong with the chart, so I'll just leave it at that. I won't be able to. If it broke above and then closed back in, it's just a gather your legs throwback and try again. But if it got rejected before the double top here, then that makes a different story altogether. So I don't know what happened. We got a spike, I think, on the lower parts of it. I think that just, where was the spike? 109.79. So no spike above on the weekly. So it was just right over the EMA 8 and came back through. So in that term, it's building. So coming off of a hammer off of support, look for previous high breaks as it steps on up for a breakout. I got resistance at the previous high, into previous lows, and then ultimately the highs here. Let's jump over here. S&P looks like it came down into support, made a hammer, and bounced. Got a 2-bar pattern still working, came through the gap, filled the gap, came through to the other side of the gap here, all the way through the range, bounced into resistance, came back and bounced. Nice hammer off of support. With this 2-bar pattern and the nap bar pattern, if that confirms on the way up, it'll negate the top half. We still have to break it, but how do you want to say it? Lessens the impact, or the impact of this double bar, bearish bar, has been minimized by a higher low reversal bar. Looks, you still have a chance of going to break down, as that might be still a rejection, just another bearish retracement. As it breaks down, got rejected here. The only thing I'm looking at is it's got a lower high off of a hammer, so it's knocking out of a bottom. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. It's only Tuesday. And so far that top pattern is just consolidating. Came all the way back down in support, bounce, came back in support, bounced. Needs to close the week above previous highs. Dow Jones, same thing. Looks like a stair step into support on a weekly. And so far, the same thing's going on. except for the reversal bar. We do have a higher low. Same as the S&P. Still working this. So the best thing maybe is a double bottom. But I'm still in the camp that was a bearish retracement, and then it's going to come back down in support through time. It looks like it's getting there because now we have the 8 crossing over the 13, which is going to make it a lot harder as momentum is dying. And plenty of room to come back down into support. Good 200 points at least. Looks like all 3 of them are down today. NASDAQ, S&P, and the Dow. All down. Looks like the VIX is picking up. We'll have to take a look at that in a sec. Still, a 2-bar pattern came across, bearish retracement. It looks like it wants to come through. It's just not yet. It could be construed as a double bottom so far. Filled the gap and went through the gap. Came up through the gap again. Now it's coming back through down the downside. It still looks bearish to me on the dailies. Can't tell what's going on the weeklies because there ain't too much going on. No reversal bars yet. Got some bouncing off of support. Dow's coming into support, and NASDAQ looks like it's supposed to break out, right? Let's see what happened. Looks like now we're working with a double top. Double top, came back down and retraced all the way back into resistance. Closing below the 8. The 8's crossing. Got a double top there. Watch out below on this one. That's a bearish retracement. Boom, boom, boom. Into resistance, allowing it to fall over. Which is, it's bound to happen because, I mean, that steep incline has absolutely no support whatsoever. There's no, it's very thin support. The steeper the line, the less support. So watch for prices to be cut, bam, right through support. Can't guarantee it's going to happen right away, but we got a double top on the daily. See what happens during the Fed meeting. I don't know if anything happened today. I didn't see anything drastic in the stock prices. So I don't think anything happened yet, but we'll see. It looks like a setup here on the NASDAQ. That's a true double top, rejected, came back into resistance for a nice reversal bar. That looks like a doji, long-wicked doji almost. Doji's when the open and the close is at the same spot, so it's pretty close on the doji, and it's long-wicked. That's a another indication of a nice reversal bar. Other than that, it's just a regular old hanging man. We'll see. Maybe that's a cup and handle too. You never know what's going to happen. But it had a double top, got rejected, came all the way back down in support, and bounced all the way back into resistance. So in my experience, that is a bearish retracement. As the ball got rejected, came in for a bounce, made a lower high, lower high, lower high. So we'll see. That doesn't look good to me. The VIX, looks like the VIX is picking up. Got a 2-bar pattern on the outside day. It's following that little trend. Looks like the VIX is picking up. Could be a clue. All the indices are down, VIX is up. Let's see if we can get VIX to break out. Let's use that line there. Cool, cool. Looks like everything's falling into place. These things are going to tumble over one of these days. But we got plunge protection team on it. I think nothing more than on the indices. I think it's nothing more than 5%. Is that what it was? I can't remember what before they start interfering, like literally, like closing the market for 5 minutes so they can fix the problem. Okay, Shanghai Express here. The composite looks like it's still bullish. Can't see the candle yet, but looks like it wants to break that flat top. Got a slow, steady decline into support. Bounced. Now we got a continuation. Just a little bit. 2 more baby steps and boom. See what the composite can do. Pretty nice. Looks like the 1-2 punch is not working out too well for the 10-year Treasury. I was thinking a 1-2 punch, but never went through. So now we're bearish again. It's still hanging in there, but no 1-2 punch. It's making a lower high again from the peak. Looks like it's hitting resistance on a tough road there. I was thinking this is going to bust right through, but it's looks like momentum's dying. Have to gather its legs one more time, it looks like. Nikkei. Looks like that came back too, making a lower high. Lower high, and then it opens down the next day. It looks like a rejection so far. Not much of rejection yet. Looks like momentum's churning. Got plenty of support down here. Nice gap, nice fill. Nice gap over the resistance again. Filling the gap again. Need to get over previous high for a breakout. But we still are above the previous highs over here. So look out when it comes through. It's on the edge. Oh, is it open? Is it moving? Oh, it's closed. What was moving? Weird. Looks like so far it's being rejected. Watch it for support. Crude, falling off the map, coming onto the other side of the pattern. Man, talk about momentum lost. Straight down into support. Let's see, we need to get a churn. Looks like you got support lines there on the weekly. Looks like a long time ago there was a previous low over this area. Looking for a churn. I don't think I can get intraday charts on this one, so have to see where that churn's coming from. Coal looks like it wants to come back into support, breaking previous lows. Looks like after the good news, they're going to sell some shares to get some funding going. I think that's what it is. See if we can get a reversal. There's a hammer. 2-bar reversal rejected, double bottom into a hammer. Bam, bam. You got a bottom forming on coal. So that's good. 2-bar reversal was rejected, came back into support and bounced and made a nice little hammer for the close today. Nice, nice, nice. Looks like steel made a hammer too. Lots of hammers going on. It's hammer time. Looks like steel came into support. Now it's bouncing. Hopefully it can get back above the 13 and 8, above previous highs. Could be a bearish retracement too, as always. The move down across the 34, bearish retrace back into resistance, got rejected, and then made a hammer. So it could be one of two things. It could be the bearish retracement as it broke previous lows and then kind of bearish retraced one more time on the intraday. Let's see if we can find it on the intraday. Looks like the bounce has got momentum there. So intraday is pretty strong. It's got to get over here into previous lows. Break into previous lows. I got resistance at 36.38. And lots of resistance coming through on the top side. So let's hold the line. Let's do whatever consolidation we need. Get back across that 8. Consolidate up in this area if we can for steel. Gold. Gold took a tumble today. Let's look at that 60-minute chart. It was trying to hold. I forget where we were. Where were we? Let's see. Yeah, it was trying to break across. Came down for a double bottom. We have a higher low closing on the 4-hour. So bottom's forming still. Just because it came back into support doesn't mean it's dead. It's just taking forever, that's all. Got a little topsy-turvy here, down to the close, opened, back in, and then now an opposing point that is a higher low. So daily's basing. Daily is basing. Needs a lot of work after the daily breakdown. Looks like 60 minutes. We might get another pop into resistance. We'll have to base. I was hoping we'd hold that line and continue from there, but it had to gather its legs. And here's a bunch of legs. You see the legs, the wicks pointing down? To gather its legs. Plenty of resistance at 12 now. It's going to need some work to get back above 12 the hourly. Looks like a higher low double bottom. Let's see if we can get a continuation off this green candle coming up. That's what we need. Get back above 12. Clear previous lows. Get back above 12.04. 12.06, 12.14, 12.24. That's where we want to be up here. We want to make sure that we start climbing back above previous breakdowns. Silver broke down too, but looks like we got a higher low, double bottom. Right now on the 4-hour chart, looks like it opened down. See how it's slightly down from the previous low? That's a bullish piercing pattern. Let's see if we can close the 4-hour chart above 50% of the previous candle. That is a swift kick in the bearish ass right there. It's hitting resistance now. Let's see. Looking for that double bottom. Looks like we've got a higher low. Make sure we confirm this on the upside, get above support, previous lows, into the previous range of things. But closing lower and lower below 17 doesn't help any. Take care of these lines. We needed to hold the line here last night, and it did not. No, actually, we needed to hold that line, and it got rejected. Double top here, came back down. Now we got a pretty bullish 2-bar pattern on the 60-minute. Let's see. Not much of a bounce in the overall things in the longer term range. Needs a lot of work. That support line's very thin. That reverse head and shoulders, if the pattern breaks, it's going to be pretty violent on the downside. So it's got to hold. Looks like we got a double bottom on the hourly with a bullish retracement, a bullish piercing pattern on the 4-hour. We got 3 hours and a half to confirm that bullish piercing pattern. So let's do it. It opened down slightly, very slight, opened down and came all the way through. Double bottom style. So silver's basing too. Copper. Copper. Came down into support. Now it's got that nice little U. Here we go on copper. That's a very bullish 2-bar pattern there, as this candle is encompassing the whole range. That's pretty cool. Wow, I didn't see that last night. Where'd that come from? Copper's got a lot of work to do on the weekly. Need to get above, we're holding previous highs over here. We need to get above previous highs over here. So, in other words, it's got a lot of work to do to get into previous lows, break some previous highs, and get back above the previous high here. That would be our ultimate support for a breakout. Real quick, let's just look at the GDX. Looks pretty thin, closing on its lows. Broke the 8, came back into support, slightly under, but we do have a higher low. Even though that pullback on all these were pretty drastic, we closed a higher low. Came all the way back into support, closing a higher low. It's a nice opposing point. We always look for those opposing points. Got to hold the line still, though. See how we open tomorrow? Nugget. Same thing. Had a little bounce on Nugget. Came across the 8, came back into support, made a higher low. Same thing. This can be construed as a dark cloud cover, but because it's at a bottom, I'm thinking it's just a retracement back into support. But that is definitely a 2-bar bearish pattern on all 3 of those. So watch yourselves. Make sure we turn around. Actually break 50% of the previous candle into previous range on that. And just looks like a retracement back into support, gathering its legs. It's not good that it closed on its lows though, on all of them. Still holding the weekly hammers. Nugget doesn't have much of a hammer. There's another hammer. So it broke the hammer, confirming it, but then closed under the close of the hammer. So now it's not confirmed again. It's got to hold the whole range. You got resistance at 35 and support at 32.5. So you can see here that it hit resistance and came back in. So it's building. Still got a nice hammer, higher lows, even a hammer down here. Hammer, hammer, pretty nice. Higher lows. Looks like just a pullback into support, gathering its legs, trying to get over, trying to get into previous lows. A little line here. Let's see. We get a churning cliff. Let's see. Still building. Cliff is a monster. Why is it a monster? Because look at that monthly chart. Monthly chart's awesome. It's that J-curve looking thing. We already had the pop, but on a monthly chart, it just broke the 34, and now it's consolidating above the 34, so that's good. I got previous highs at 1230, that's where we got rejected. So a break above 1230 into previous lows will be quite the treat. So I'm watching for that. Looks like uranium had a small churn. Let's keep it short today. I'm exhausted. Fumbling around here. Waking up an hour earlier for the day is not appropriate. Let's look at AG for the final. AG. Now, the last bull run, this was one of the biggest runners, so you have to keep a watch on this. Looks like we got rejected here. Look out below. Damn, doesn't look like it's over yet. Damn, it broke below. Why? Why are you doing this to me? Look for a whipsaw right back across that resistance line. Man, they're dragging this way, way back. We got to be careful. That reverse head and shoulders, that big long pattern that we've been following this whole time. This right shoulder is being swung way down. See how steep that line of resistance is? That means there's not much resistance at all when it finally breaks through. As far as I can tell, that was resistance, but it might be that that final, what do you call it? The final exhaustion bar. So let's see. How do we figure this out here? What happened? Breaking down. A little bounce on the end of the day, not much though. Okay. All we do now is take our opposing point a little bit lower. I don't know. That line right there should have held, and it did not. And it's breaking all support on the way down. I do have support here on this previous high pattern right here. That's where it came down to. So hopefully, best case scenario right now looks like a higher low is our best probability. And then last ditch effort to hold this thing together is a double bottom. Look at the reverse head and shoulders. And the right shoulder is being, I mean, quite literally, that's a failed pattern. Pretty sure. But we got a line of support here from the previous highs. So that would be support at 650. This thing needs to turn around on a hurry, like on a pronto. So, well, on the hourly, we got a higher low, just a tiny bounce though, nothing to see here. Nothing conclusive, that is. Let's get into previous lows on the hourly above 727. We might have some better support, holding 50% of the previous candle and the previous low. So let's get back above 727. See if we can get some support together here. That weekly chart just looks demolished. Just terrible. That's quite literally a failed pattern, so watch out below. Wouldn't it be just a tragedy if they took it all the way back to down to previous breaks? I guess the Fed meeting for the rate hike should be tomorrow, I guess. But that's it for today. Let's see. It's about a half an hour still. I'm trying to keep it short, but it never ends up that way. Please share, like, and comment. Let me know what's going on out there. And sorry about the miners not getting out there sooner, but my internet was shoddy, and I had to retry to upload it 3 times, and that was an hour-long video, so it took a tremendous amount of time. But anywho's, see you next time.